So one of the biggest differences between hand sewing and machine sewing is that machines actually use two different threads. So up at the top, we have the top thread. This is what is going to go through the machine and actually move up and down using this little lever over here. And down here we have our bobbin. This is going to be our bottom thread or our bobbin thread. And this is what's going to catch the top thread and actually create the interlocking stitches. Here's a better picture of the bobbin in its container. We're going to talk through how to get it in there and how to line both the threads through the machine. You can see the little black and red tails in the background. Usually you want your bobbin and your top thread to be the same color so your stitches look more seamless, but we're going to use two different colors for the purpose of this demo. So to start, there's a super important little piece called an end cap. This is what's going to hold your thread onto your thread rod at the top of your machine. It doesn't matter which way your thread goes onto your machine, just make sure that you press the thread cap up against it. You don't need to squish it, but it should be pretty close. One of the super nice things about this machine is that it's actually numbered, so we're going to find the 1 and pull the thread from the opposite side towards us through the 1 and the 2. We're then going to follow the 3 and go down the front. You can see the view change. We're going to come around the bottom loop of the 4 and go back up towards 5. 5 can be a little tricky because we need to get it in the little loop right here. So you're going to bring the thread up the side that's closer to the hand wheel and then back down the other, and you want to make sure it's in the loop. Then we're going to bring it back down the front parallel to where we brought it down for 3 earlier, and we're going to slide it in this little front piece right here. You want to make sure it's all the way behind it so you can see it's tucked back. Then there's a second little one that you're going to do. You bring it in from the side that's closer to the rest of the machine, and it should slide right in there. Next, you're going to have to thread the needle, so this is the notoriously difficult part of the process. You have to take the little end of the thread right here and push it into that little eye in the middle of the needle. So once you push it through, you'll be able to pull it. You want to pull it so that it's not taut. The string should be coming down the front of the needle. It shouldn't be coming from behind, so you need to make sure you're threading away from you. Here's a bit better of a picture, but you can see it comes down next to the needle and then it goes through and go out the back toward the back of the machine. And then you're going to pull it through the little gap in the machine foot in the front. So in order to thread a bobbin, you need to have a bobbin with thread on it. You don't need to use a fully threaded bobbin for all projects. You can use a less threaded one if you don't need as much thread. I covered how to thread an empty bobbin in an earlier video. Any of these 3 bobbin types will work in this machine. Right now the bobbin case is empty, so to release that lid, we're just going to pull this little black piece away from us and pull the lid out entirely. So you can see the lid has this little diagram on it of the bobbin. It's going to kind of give you a hint as to how to thread it. It'll show the direction that the thread needs to move in. So our bobbin is here. We're going to make sure that it's lined up with the way the thread turns in the picture. So we want the end to be right here, and then we're just going to set it right into the bobbin case. It's a little bit difficult to see, but there's a little notch right here that we're going to slide our thread into and wrap around. And for right now, we're just going to leave the end of it hanging over the machine plate. So now that the bottom bobbin and the top have been threaded, you can see both the threads are back here, we're going to pull the bobbin thread through the machine plate. How we're going to do that is bringing the top thread, the black one, in my case, over to the side, and we're just going to pinch it down so that it doesn't move. And then we're going to take the hand wheel and rotate it slowly towards us so that the needle goes down and comes back up. And you can see the black thread coming around the bobbin in the bottom. And then once it's all the way around, we're just going to pinch that black thread and pull it out so that it drags the blue thread back up through the little opening in the plate. Once it's through, you can see it. We're just going to use something that doesn't have a sharp edge to hook on and pull it the rest of the way through. So now both threads are coming out. All you need to do is bring them around to the cutter, pull down, and you'll have the perfect length end to start sewing with. The last thing we need to do is just to put the bobbin case lid back on, and we'll be good to start sewing.